Okay, good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? So we are here today for the support another indie stream. Another indie dev even. Brain is not working. And today we are playing the Foolish Mortals demo from Steam. If we take a look at the Steam page, it says, The Mysteries of 1930 Louisiana. Come alive as you uncover clues and solve puzzles in search of a lost treasure in the Belmore Manor, where 30 years ago, an entire wedding suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Okay. The merry and macabre come together in this cozy, story-driven point-and-click adventure game. And this one was showcased at the last Insomnia, but I didn't get to play it, so this will be the first time I've actually played it. I loaded the game earlier just to check the settings, and that's it. I've never actually played the game. This is going to be a first look for us all, and we'll see what it's all about. Obviously, a point-and-click adventure is what it's about. Let's see what the story is like. Yeah, new game. There is a link in the chat. There is a demo on Steam at the moment, but this one's still in development. I'm liking the artwork already. Start of a movie going into it. Wonder if this will be more animated in the final version. Good evening, Martin. How are you doing? Thanks, and you? I'm good, thank you. 5 watch stream, eh? I don't know what the highest like payout is on that. Interesting to see. Okay. I pressed escape to get past that just so we can get into the game.
There was a treasure on the island. Its location known only by the dead. I could see it in my dreams. How was I supposed to know that in order to find it, I'd have to die too?
Spirits and specters from regions unknown, guide to me the wanderer who searches alone. Well, welcome back, Murphy McCallan. Have you found all 5 ingredients for the spell?
I found 3 so far. Only 2 are left. The chalk and the coffin nails.
Hurry. The island will lead you to that which you seek. I have no doubt about that.
It's remind you of Monkey Island. Yeah, I can see that. So we need to find 2 things, I guess.
How will the spell help me find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor?
There are things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard. At least to mortals. I commune with regions beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend. Out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned, return now my servant to do my command.
I have returned to you, Master.
Loa, this gentleman wishes to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. Tell him how this can be done.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies. Their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be revealed on the mortal plane.
And that is what our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghosts trapped within the house.
5 ingredients place inside, tie closed, and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Once you've collected all 5, we can summon the ghosts of Belmore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Begone!
Okay. So we are trying to get the ingredients for a spell so we can bring the ghost to the mortal plane. Not going to be creepy at all. Do you know what happened?
Do you know what happened at Belmore Manor?
You want to hear a ghost story, Murphy McCallan?
I want to know everything I can about that house.
Then listen closely. Dark magic runs throughout Belmore Manor. The house was built by the Belmore brothers, 3 merchants from England who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Belmore, an explorer, Yardley Belmore, an actor, and Cecil Belmore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years. They each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail. Abigail met a young sailor who worked aboard one of her brother's ships. And in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal. Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and the Belmore fortune was to go to a commoner. Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Belmore brothers sanctioned the marriage. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic. The grand wedding was planned by the 3 proud brothers, but in the months leading up to the wedding, each of the brothers, one by one, was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go
Bear with me. I've just realised that this isn't
to inherit the Belmore
lined up
fortune
properly. It's cut in the bottom of the screen off.
many people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, the sailor was summoned to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And to everyone gathered in the house, Abigail declared that that same evening, she would marry another, John Rackham, first officer of the Belmore Trading Company, would be her new groom. Except that didn't happen. On the night of the wedding, everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps the last revenge of the scorned sailor. The house that night held a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
There's an awful lot of work gone into all the voice acting and story in this one. We played like Lucy's dreaming and things, it was odd lines. Even there. This one's starting off with quite a lot of dialogue.
How am I going to find the spell ingredients?
Everything I've ever needed for my voodoo spells, I have found on this island. It's as though this island pulls the supernatural to it. Keep searching. Once that's complete, I will show you the final step of the spell.
I'm going to finish finding the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
Okay. I wonder if just getting this spell is going to be the demo. Summoning spell, part 1. I don't know how long this is going to last. If we complete the demo tonight, then we'll find some other game for next week. Someone else can deal with those. Right, so we can spin the sack around. Not sure what that's going to do. There must be a reason later on. Yeah, that's all it
A frayed
does.
sack hung from the wooden crane.
Okay. That just operates the same thing in. Okay. Let's see, what else have we got? The fish.
I took the taxidermied fish from the rotting wooden frame.
Okay. Kind of expected him just to tell us about it, but hey. I think I pressed the wrong button, maybe.
The wooden shack had a single door. From the moss growing on it, it looked like it hadn't been used for years.
Okay. Can we go in?
I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked.
Okay. Fine. Can't touch these crates, so that looks like everything here. Ooh. This is where we are. It looks like we can go to 3 places. Try the one in the middle. Ah. Coffin nails, maybe. He's not going to just give them, is he?
The rough-looking coffin lay unceremoniously on the rickety table. The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it.
I would rather you didn't.
The tin was empty. Hello.
Ah, consarn it! Don't sneak up on people like that. You frighten the dying daylights out of me.
He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy?
I thought you were those pesky kids again.
Kids don't seem like a reason to be scared.
They're little terrors. I'm sure they're gonna give me a heart attack. Last week they showed up with a doctor's note they forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep sleeper. 7 hours I was out here digging him up, at my age!
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo, just like those kids will be if I get my hands on them.
He's very pleasant, isn't he? Okay,
Have you got any spare coffin nails?
No, I don't got any to spare. I have to buy these out of my own pocket. Do you know how much the parish gives me per burial nowadays? A pittance. The roof's leaking, my table's broken. I've used floorboards to build some of the coffins. Take my advice. Don't go into this line of work. I'm telling you, undertaking's a dying business.
I was a pun in there.
My name's Murphy McAllen. I've just arrived on the island.
Well, welcome, Mr. Murphy. I'm Edgar Kettle, gravedigger, undertaker, coffin maker, and anything else that needs doing to keep this cemetery running.
Have you ever accidentally buried someone who is still alive?
Not that I know of. When you think about it, how would I know?
Shouts for help? Desperate shaking of the coffin?
Look, I haven't sealed anyone up who was chatting away with me, let's put it that way. I usually check for signs of life, but everyone takes shortcuts sometimes, don't they? I deserve some rest in peace, too.
Okay.
Do you not find working in a graveyard a little eerie?
Why would it be eerie?
I don't know. Ghosts, maybe?
I don't like to think about ghosts.
Why not?
Because they'd be bad for business. I have my work cut out here with the dead as it is. Imagine if they came back asking for a refund.
It's true.
I'm looking for the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Another treasure hunter. Well, let me tell you something, young man. Don't even think about digging up my graveyard. There's no treasure buried here, and I'm already busy enough filling in the holes that are meant to be here.
What are you working on?
This is just a pauper's coffin the parish is funding. Lock 'em in lumber, leave 'em to slumber, that's what I call it. No frills. This'll end up 5 feet under by the end of the night.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 feet.
You're not the one doing the digging. 5 feet means I get a tea break.
Oh dear. We're gonna have to distract him somehow so we can take some of his nails. That's clearly what needs to happen.
Do you know anything about the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
I think it's important to leave the dead to rest in peace.
But what if they're not in peace?
Well, I think there's more to that story than meets the eye. You know the 3 brothers went missing, right? Well, if you ask me, I think Abigail Belmore was behind it. She was engaged to a sailor, but nobody like her would go for a commoner.
She might have loved him.
She could have loved somebody with a big bank account, too. I think she must have been using him, pretending to love him so he'd do her dirty work for her, bumping off her brothers. Then afterwards, she drops him and goes to marry the officer of the company. Fiendish.
Those are some pretty serious allegations.
Just a feeling, that's all. I don't have any evidence.
What a
But
surprise.
when you work with cadavers, you kinda get a 6th sense about things. People killed in mysterious circumstances. Like you can tell when someone's sneaking up behind you.
Clearly you can't.
You actually seem to have trouble with that.
Wise guy.
We were thinking along the same lines.
Why are you out here working so late?
The funerals take place in the morning, and I prefer to be tucked up in my bed. I don't like those early funerals. I'm not a morning person.
Oh dear.
Did the coffin just move?
Don't even joke about that.
What do you think was behind the disappearance?
Well, the sailor must have found out he was being manipulated, mustn't he? Done something to get his revenge.
What do you think the sailor did to get his revenge?
Nobody knows. But in his contracts to the Caribbean, he could have come across something fiendish. All we know is that everyone in that house disappeared. And to tell you the truth, I'm quite relieved they did.
Why's that?
Because if they'd not disappeared, it would be this old fool who'd have had to bury them. Saved me a good amount of work.
I best
Okay.
be running along.
Don't drop dead. I don't want anything else adding to my to-do list.
I didn't need to do anything with the stove, and would have probably burnt my hands if I tried. An antique stove burned quietly in the corner of the tumble-down shack.
Okay. Why did he have a jack under the table if it wasn't holding it up?
With the jack removed, the table rocked freely.
The table didn't, only the coffin did.
The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it.
Oh, maybe the table did move. I'll let him off. What else have we got around here?
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for.
Okay. Anything else down here? Graves. I assume I'm just going to get the same voice every time I click on the graves. So we're not going to keep doing that. Well, the same message, I should say. Ooh. What is this? This looks
I couldn't see any way to open
puzzle-like.
it. Embedded into the hillside was a large, elaborately carved crypt. It looked to be hundreds of years old. I couldn't see any way to open it.
I do. There's two squares. They look like slots to put things in. Maybe we can go back and talk to Edgar and he'll tell us more about the crypt.
I disturbed Edgar enough.
Okay, maybe we can't. Okay. Shall we go left or right? Go down to the left one.
Walking into the port town of Dead Nettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank. Echoes of merchant ships loading and unloading all manner of cargo from expeditions throughout the Caribbean. Gold and treasure that may still lie hidden on the island.
Okay, so it looks like we've got a few places we might be able to go. We can go up here to some rooms. So room and board, so places to stay maybe. You've got a puppet theatre. And then we have Doubloon's jewelry over here. Change anything when we walk down here? No? Okay, let's go to the jewelry one then.
I tried the door. It was locked.
Open the
It
door.
was the door to a jewelry shop, with a sign behind the glass reading, "Back in 5 minutes."
Hmm. Okay, let's go see what it says on the... Dragon Spirit Games, how are you doing?
The
I've
sign
not
read,
seen
"The
you stream in
fantastic
ages, and I'm sorry
Fantaccio
about
brothers will be
that. I
performing
hope you're doing
tonight.
awesome. I am
People
doing
of
well.
all ages welcome.
Thank you.
Donations welcome, even more
I
so.
increased my streams. We now stream 5 times a week, most weeks. I missed what this was saying. 1
The
minute.
sign read, "The fantastic Fantaccio brothers will be performing tonight. People of all ages welcome. Donations welcome, even more so."
Okay.
Gruff mumbles emanated from inside the puppet theater. Obviously, preparation for tonight's show was already underway.
You wish you could do the same, but that's impossible for you. Yeah. Maybe in future. Things change in life, and oh, okay. I was expecting to appear on the platforms here for the building, not all the way down here. Okay, what have we got here? Nothing we can do here. We can go into this building here. We've got a notice board, so we'll go see what's on the notice board. Indeed, the future is unwritten. Yeah, how are you keeping?
The latest
Hope you're well.
newspaper contained a photograph of the fisherman on the docks, with a headline declaring he'd just broken the island's heaviest catch record. Nothing else was of interest.
Okay. Is it worrying that the symbol when you hover over someone to talk to them is a skull? Looks nice, but I'd say the world is a little more liveliness. Yeah.
Are the fish biting?
Well, not so well today, to tell the truth. They must have been spooked by something. But you should have seen them yesterday. I was having to fight them off the rod. The name's Ned Kipps, by the way. Just Kipps to my friends.
I'm Murphy McAllen.
Nice to meet you, Mac. What are you doing on this old rock anyway? I haven't seen you around before. Here on vacation?
I guess you could say that.
Then you got worse judgment than an arm wrestler squaring up to a kraken. Hope you don't regret it.
Me too.
Okay. Doing okay, slow and steady wins the race, right? Yep. Pixel game that will be fully accessible, just takes a lot of time. Yes. Yeah, I'm playing this one because it was showcased at Insomnia when I was last there. And what could potentially be the last ever Insomnia. It looks like it might not be going ahead again. Which was shocking news.
What's that book you're reading?
The Louisiana Book of Records. There's this fish called a pinkoza that swims around these parts. Delicious barbecue. And you're looking at the fella that's caught the heaviest pinkoza ever weighed at the Dead Nettle docks. Now I'm looking to see if it's a state record, maybe even national, or a world record.
That's some achievement.
Oh, it was. Got my photograph on the front page of the newspaper and everything.
I'm also kind of getting ready for the Game Dev TV Game Jam. Ooh, okay, what's that one? Tell us more. I do like myself a little game jam now and then. Let's see if he knows what he knows.
Disappearance at Belmore Manor.
Now there's a tale to tell. You know about Miss Belmore? The bride engaged to the sailor? I heard she was having an affair, getting up to no good with this fellow called John Rackham. He was one of the Belmore Company's higher-ups. Anyway, sailor catches wind of it and tricks Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what caused everything to go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
Call me a liar, But there are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Is that what you think caused the disappearance?
What else could it be?
Could be all sorts. It will start in less than 2 hours. Ooh. Okay. How long is it on for?
What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the Captain's Club. They fancy them up with lemon lobster, slawfish, something
10
or
days?
other.
That's
Ooh.
nice.
Everyone knows the
Not
best
too
way to cook
stressful.
them is to barbecue them. But then again, I haven't eaten in that place my whole life.
Why not?
I don't have a captain's license, so they won't let me in.
Don't you have a fishing boat?
Now, I used to. The Petit Pichet. But they don't count it if it doesn't have a crew.
What happened to it?
That's it across the harbor with its bow sticking out the water. It was the strangest thing. There I was, fishing just out in the bay, when a sea serpent comes out the water, wraps itself around the boat. Well, I was going to be a goner. Jabbed my fishing pole right in its beady eye, throttled the motor, and managed to make it back to shore just as the hull went under. It's lucky I made it out alive.
That's a pretty tall tale.
I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
It was clear that Ned had a penchant for fanciful stories. He told them with such vigor, I think he'd convinced himself they were true.
How'd you get on with the thing, Jam? We got most of the game working. But there's a problem on it, so I don't know whether... I can't remember when that one finishes. I think it was tomorrow. I might have a chance tomorrow morning just to try and finish it off, but if not, we didn't quite make it. But we were trying to make a Connect 4 style game, but where there was random horizontal movements. And I got the horizontal working, but then it was the dropping of them that wasn't. I didn't quite get them dropping properly. As I didn't use physics, and I probably should have done, because it probably made it a whole lot easier.
What can you tell me about Miss Belmore?
Abigail.
But we'll see.
More beautiful than a mermaid, and twice as fishy. Seems like such a nice girl, too. Until the affair. It seems so unlike her.
What about the sailor?
Don't know much about him. Never met the fella. I never got involved in the dock work, to tell the truth. Always preferred to sit with my fishing pole and fend for myself. We all figured that Abigail being in love with him and everything. He must have been fine folk. I think we were wrong. Poor Rackham, though. He was wronger still. I'm a business guy myself. Get the product, sell the product. Nothing wrong with bringing home the bacon. But he brought back trouble, and he paid the price.
I suppose it was a mistake for him to get involved with Abigail.
It's risky mixing business and pleasure.
You were working to, you basically just had time for a tutorial level. Made a very simple puzzle platformer. They use Shift, which in black and white dimension, some platforms or switches would be available in the white and other in black. Oh, okay. You have to go to both to get through the puzzle. I see. Interesting. Yeah, I need to double check when it actually finishes to see if I've got time to finish off and get it done.
I'm looking for the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Well, I've heard a tall tale or two, but even I'm not spending my time looking for that. It's been lost for 30 years now.
Lost means it's still ready for finding.
I've traveled every waterway on this island, and I haven't even seen a hint of it. It could be at the bottom of the ocean for all I know. And I've found a few treasures in my time. French treasure, British treasure, pirate treasure, but no Belmo treasure.
Do you still have those treasures?
Well, I had to hide them again. Give someone else a chance to find them. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Conveniently, you have to hide it again.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac. That's for weighing fish. No one's going to beat my record.
Okay, I think that's all there is here. I guess either tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah, I think it might have been Sunday morning, but I can't remember what time. So I'll go check later. But for now, we're going to enjoy this demo and see if we can get through it. We are looking for coffin nails and something else. I can't remember what the other one was.
You! Stop right there! What's your name?
Murphy McAllen.
I haven't seen you before. What's your business?
I'm just visiting. Why do you need to know?
Because your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, Murphy. I need something juicy. Committed any crimes? Uncovered any affairs? Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth. No.
I need a good story. I can't always let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that.
So who made this game? Someone you know? I don't know them personally. It was showcased at the Insomnia Gaming Festival in the UK. And I got business cards for all the games, any wishlisted any that were on Steam. And then as part of my support another indie dev, I'm trying to showcase them all. Yeah, I can get you a there you go. There's a link to it on Steam. There's currently a demo. And all we have is 2024, the full release. So it's done by Inkling Wood Studios.
Don't even think about touching that machine.
I think I should, because it'll wind you up. This guy likes picking up everything. Like, I keep forgetting left click is pick up. I just want him to examine it and tell me if he thought it'd be useful.
On the floor was a large canister filled with dark black printer's ink. Around it, the floor was stained with ink splatters.
Lovely. I think we'll stay away from that then. It doesn't look like we can click on any of the...
There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I didn't know how to operate it.
Hey, you can't come back here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes?
Hi. What are you working on?
Listen
Let's
to
see
this.
what she's got to say.
An innocent victim's domesticated canine has been suddenly and mysteriously ripped away from them by fate. Its location and intentions are unknown.
Wait, are you talking about a lost dog?
Technically, it's not lost anymore. It was found shortly before I got to the house. But still,
Yeah,
the
I
story
used to
must
do
be
once a
written.
month.
I have a headline.
Then I changed it
suggestion.
to twice a month, and now I do
Lost
every
dog,
Friday.
Not lost.
I have a personal suggestion.
Each game gets
Rot
2 weeks.
out.
Unless I complete it in 1 week, and then we'll change the game. But yeah, usually they get 2 weeks. So... Your game is also ready, right? Yeah, I have 2 games. So I have Wormhole Adventurer, which was my first one, and then Hex Racer. No, that's the wrong button. That one. Yeah, Wormhole Adventurer and Hex Racer. Hex Racer is my latest one. And I'm currently making plans for a content update for it. So trying to work out what people would like. And then a big update. Saw me work on that one a few times, yeah. That was my most recent one.
Don't you have more interesting stories to write about?
The crackpots this island calls a population wouldn't know something interesting if they paid for it. Which they hardly do. Believe me, I've tried to get juicier stories. Scouring the island, doorstop interviews, hiding beneath windows.
You eavesdrop on people through their windows?
It's called investigative reporting.
Called very dodgy.
What's in those filing cabinets?
Past issues of the newspaper, starting right back in 1864. Of course, things were a lot more interesting when Dead Nettle was thriving as a port town. Comings and goings of people, ships, and cargo, lots to report on back then. More than the dregs I have to dress up now.
Okay.
I'm doing some research on the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Leave it. That's my advice. There's no story in it.
No story?
Not that anyone would believe. And I've got advertisers breathing down my neck.
What's your theory on Belmore Manor?
This might sound far-fetched, but I think it was hypnotism. All the puzzle pieces make sense.
Who was hypnotized?
Abigail, by that strange sailor she was going to marry. This newspaper had been publishing a bunch of stories about spooky goings-on across the island. We even had tip-offs of black magic inside Belmore Manor. Can you believe it?
Who was doing black magic?
Well, we weren't told for sure, but it makes sense, doesn't it? The sailor! Why else would someone as powerful as Abigail want to marry a lowly manual worker like him? Come the night of the wedding, and she wised up. Married John Rackham, the company's first officer. Much more on her social standing, and a responsible choice for the company.
Yeah.
Do you
You
have
got
any
any
back
back
issues
issues?
featuring the Belmore Manor wedding?
We don't, I'm afraid. Most of the paper's directors were at the wedding and disappeared along with everyone else. The newspaper had to shut up shop for weeks while it was restaffed. This was back when the Gazette wasn't run by just one person.
Why did
Yeah.
the ship stop coming to Dead Nettle?
The Belmore Trading Company was the heartbeat of this island. After the disappearance, there was no one left to run the company, and it all got sold off. When that folded, so did pretty much everything else.
What do you think caused everyone to disappear?
The last revenge of the sailor's sorcery. But imagine me writing that into a piece of serious journalism. I'd be laughed out of the industry.
I think I better be going.
Everyone
Keep your
seems
eyes
to
out
think
for
it
a
was the
story,
sailor
McAllen.
that caused
There
everyone
are
to
secrets
disappear.
on the island, and it's my job to sell advertisements next to them.
I wasn't going to get ink all over my hands.
Very messy with all the papers around, I have to say. Right, that looks like everything in here we can click on. None of these we can click on. Go through the archway. What else we can find? I think I've worked out where we're going to get the coffin nails from. We just need to distract the worker somehow. Yeah, he's not going to let me in, is he?
Good evening. He looked past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening?
I suppose, if one's standards are low enough. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one.
Who are you?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club, when Mr. Perkins has his night off. And who, pray tell, are you?
Murphy McAllen. I'm looking for the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, goody, another young adventurer seeking fame, fortune, or some combination of the two. Just what Dead Nettle's been lacking for local color.
What is this place?
This, sir, is the Captain's Club, a private members club for current and retired sea and riverboat captains. We are highly exclusive. Are you a captain?
He asked with a smugness that told me he already knew the answer.
I thought not. Then may I recommend a swift exit? You'll find a convenient egress approximately 180 degrees to starboard. If you like, I can give you a good swift kick in the right direction, sir. And don't feel a need to stop walking until your ankles get soggy.
He's very pleasant, isn't he? Hey.
What makes you think I'm not a captain?
Well, for one thing, you lack the grizzle, the crustiness, the essential R of a captain.
How do I get those?
Years of exposure to salt water and sullen, uncooperative crew members, I should think. Tell me, have you ever captained a three-rigger through a tropical typhoon? Have you ever run the rapids of the Mississippi without hitting a single reef? Wind in your sails, fire in your furnace, waves beneath your keel?
Have you?
Well, it's more complicated than that.
In what way?
I get seasick.
Is there any way to prove I'm a captain?
You might show me your captain's license. As I'm sure you know, the state of Louisiana requires all captains, both sea and riverboat, to carry one. But don't try to foist me off with a fake. Last week, we had someone present a license with a photograph distinctly unlike their contemporary appearance. The photograph was clearly of someone a good deal older than them, with more facial hair and, most importantly, one less eye.
Okay. If we're gonna get a knockoff captain's license, we need to make it look good.
What do you know about the lost treasure of Belmore Manor?
Do you think you're living in a storybook? Weathered maps, talking parrots, X marks the spot? Grow up, you silly boy. Captaincy is an accomplished skill which doesn't need belittling by childish tales like lost treasure.
Ooh.
What do you know about the Belmore wedding?
You mean the disappearance of the Belmore wedding? On moonlit nights when the waves crash against the rocks, the captains of this club trade yarns about this very mystery. Did you know Abigail Belmore's fiancé was a sailor who worked on the ships? Some of the old boys here even worked with him. They say he loved her, as true as a captain loves the sea. But she was a temptress, a siren who scuttled that sailor's heart.
What did she do?
After months of engagement, she broke it off and chose to marry an officer of the company instead, on their very wedding day.
Who was the man she chose to marry instead?
John Rackham, a landlubber who only used the bounties of the sea to fill his coin purse. But the Belmores harnessed his ambitions for the company, his expertise at imports and exports.
Why did she do it?
What many people don't know is that mysterious things had been found on one of the company voyages to the Caribbean. Mystical things, some say.
What did they find?
The crew was sworn to secrecy by the Belmore brothers, and all of the men were loyal enough to keep their word. But the rot in the rope was that sister, Abigail. People say that the discovery took hold of her. With the broken heart of the sailor and the resources of the officer, she was about to unleash something terrible. Perhaps it was a good thing that they all disappeared.
Do you think that's true?
Of course not. It's all nonsense. But the captains do love to outperform each other with such tales on a dull evening.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Dead Nettle?
Do you think you've wandered into the local library? Should we gather around for story time?
Sounds good.
I was just hoping to talk to someone obviously so knowledgeable about the area.
Well, yes, unfortunately I'm plagued with an encyclopedic knowledge of the local area. My concierge duties require it. I have a spiel. Welcome, hardy traveler, to our quaint port town of Dead Nettle. Once this town you see around you was a hub of commerce, a beacon for ships bravely navigating between America, Europe, and the Caribbean. With the unfortunate dissolution of the Belmore Trading Company, our town has settled into a quieter life, perfect for the sailor ready to hang up their cap. We hope that you enjoy your time in our homely town and perhaps explore some of the local sites. With the Captain's Club always here as your home port.
Why was the Belmore Trading Company dissolved?
Well, you're taking me off script, but it really was quite the scandal. The three owners of the company vanished, and there was simply nobody left to run the company.
Wasn't there anyone who tried?
The first officer of the company, Mr. Rackham, looked to step up, but he disappeared too. I do wish the company hadn't collapsed.
I bet lots of people share that wish.
I might have more customers if it hadn't.
The whole place does seem a bit
I best be
quiet.
casting off.
Don't feel the need to rush back, sir. You can't go up there. It's for members only.
I did wonder how far I was going to get.
There was nothing in the fountain apart from a rim of moss.
Yeah. Definitely not taking a drink out of there then. Okay, so where have we not been? As I know, I've been in every building we can and spoke to everyone that we can. Oh no, maybe not. There's an arrow here. We click and it does nothing. Okay. Oh. Maybe there's going to be something through there. Yeah, not yet, maybe. Brings us out this way. And there was nothing else we could click on here. This was closed. It said back in 5 minutes. I'm guessing it's still going to say that. But we'll go and have a quick try before we go back to the island.
I tried the door. It was locked.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say that. Okay, so there's this place over here we can go to.
You've returned. Have you found all the ingredients and placed them in the gree-gree?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. I'm going to finish finding the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
I was hoping you'd tell me what they were again. Let's see. Have we made notes of what we need? Ah, chalk and nails. Chalk was the other one. Okay, and there's hints in here. Cool. How do we go back? There we go. Okay, and these are the things we've been picking up. So we've got a manuscript. I was hoping we could look at it. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is for the chalk and coffin nails is what we need. We've already got the others, apparently.
At the center of the manuscript was an empty circle, with arrows pointing inward from each of the ingredients. It was marked the focus.
Ooh.
At the center of the
How do I get back out of here? Oh, okay. Click to the corner. Yeah, these are all the things we've picked up. We might need for something. Who knows what? But currently I've only seen
framed by trees and lit by moonlight,
somewhere to get the nails.
Belmore Manor stood imposingly in the still night air. Even without lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me, or warning me.
Okay, let's go and have a look. See how far we can get.
I scanned the house for a way in, perhaps an unlocked door or window, but my search was without luck. With a deep breath, I took hold of the door handle of the house I'd been thinking about for months and turned it. Unsurprisingly, it was locked. I briefly considered breaking into the house, but unsure of just how true the ghost stories were, decided it was better to not risk angering any spirits that may have been in there. If I was getting in, I was going to need the key. I wasn't going to wade into the pond. A large pond lay in front of the house, slowly being reclaimed by algae and weeds.
There's a path around the back. But did anyone see where we might get chalk from? Oh, excuse me. Not yet, no. Oh.
From the gathering moss and rust, it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades.
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
So much for good luck. I picked up the horseshoe that assaulted me. It was heavy, very heavy. A table and chairs sat inside the gazebo, an echo of better days with afternoon tea looking out over the ocean.
We can't go to these ones. The church is definitely where we're getting the nails from. But how are we going to distract him? There's a way of checking your inventory. Yeah. So we've got currently a magazine, the Gris, manuscript, bottle, the taxidermied fish, the screwjack, scissors, string, and a horseshoe.
That wasn't going to work.
Yeah, it looks like if you
The twine was going to be of more use to me intact.
That wasn't going to work. That didn't work.
yeah, so you can try and like link them together. Nothing we've got at the moment
I didn't
seems
need
to.
cut that. With a long rip already along the seam, I didn't need to cut the fish open any further. A coffin sat upon a rickety-looking table, with one leg shorter than the others. I disturbed Edgar enough.
Something about this crypt. None of these other crypts we can click on. But this one we can. It clearly looks like a puzzle door.
I couldn't see any way to open it. Embedded into the hillside was a large, elaborately carved crypt. It looked to be hundreds of years old.
That just takes me to here. There was nothing at Balmore Manor. Interesting. That now works. Didn't work before.
The latest newspaper contained a photograph of the fisherman on the docks, with a headline declaring he'd just broken the island's heaviest catch record. Nothing else was of interest.
Ooh. I've had a message saying I've been invited to test another game. It appeared at Insomnia. That might be another one we can get on the list. I don't even know how we get up to this one. You can't click on the door anyway. There's another poster down here.
The poster advertised billiards at the Captain's Club, with 3 billiard balls and 2 cues framing a cube of billiard chalk.
There's the chalk. We've got to get into the Captain's Club to get into the billiards table to get the chalk. Okay. And we know where we're going to get them from. And we have to solve the mystery of how.
I decided to leave Kips to his fishing. I hung the fish on the scales.
Nice try, Mac, but it's going to need to be heavier than that to beat my record.
That wasn't going to work. That didn't work. That didn't work. With the ripped seam as an opening, I placed the horseshoe inside the taxidermied fish. Now it was heavy.
I don't know what this is going to achieve.
Mac, does that say what I think it does? You've been holding back on me. That breaks my record.
McCallum!
Ah.
You just broke the island fishing record.
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now,
Yeah.
I'm doing the questions here. So what led to this unbelievable turn of events? Years of practice? Or a one-in-a-million fluke? Did the fish just jump into your lap as you walked the quayside? Was the fish dropped by a passing seagull?
Would have been a pretty darn big seagull.
Just beginner's luck, I guess.
As I suspected, well, as much as it pains me to say it, you're the cover story on this evening's edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette, and this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
Bush took enough
I gotta hand it to you,
pictures.
Mac. That fish is a whopper. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Okay. Is there now something in here, maybe?
Murphy, have you seen the cover of the evening edition? I think we caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive, simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the more surprising that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That will cost you.
Evelyn seemed busy, and I didn't have anything else to ask her.
Don't even think about touching that machine.
Ah, okay, we can pick up the
I
newspaper.
picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better.
Um,
The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white. The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white.
um, maybe
I
show
didn't
him
think
and
you'd be interested in that.
no? Okay. So where else have we got things that we can maybe interact? There's the puppet show that's not started. I'm assuming this is still going to be closed.
I tried the door. It was locked.
Yep. Okay. I'm off on that back to try and watch the rest tomorrow morning. If you could put it down. Okay, no worries. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Wondering if there's anything we can do.
I didn't need to steady the table again.
Or maybe maybe we can fill the bottle with water. Not that I know why, but there was a fountain. Okay. I'm not reading all that. Maybe we need to.
It was a small leather pouch with a drawstring, used for voodoo spells. Currently, it held black feathers, gunpowder, and rum. It was an empty soda bottle that I'd found on the beach. That wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. I couldn't do that. I did need to cut that.
Need to find some way to distract this guy. There's nothing here we can interact with. Table, the tin.
A rusty tin can sat on the ground. The tin was empty. That wasn't going to work. I thought I'd keep that to myself. The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record."
Still can't work out how I'm going to distract him. Something's got to happen in the graveyard. The only thing I can see that we can highlight is a whole load of graves.
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for.
Or anything with the trees. I'm determined to try and find it. Whatever we need to do. I'll have a look at the manor again. See if there's anything we missed. I don't see anything else we can click on other than the manor. And the pond. We need some pond water. Where's he going? Oh.
I filled up the bottle with pond water.
Put the pond water into the fountain. And that distracts a person that lets us into the captain's club. Maybe. If there's one thing I learned from Lucy Dreaming, it's that devs of these point and clicks games have some really weird, tricky puzzles. Blueberries are looking grey. How can we make them look blue again? Yeah, there's a bug here. If you enter the island from the other side, you can't exit on the opposite side. This is what it did in the town. Now I have to walk all the way around here. And then out this way. Yeah, it's a bit of a cross with the artwork. Like, this has been done quite detailed. But then the artwork for the character is really plain. There's no shading on it or anything. Yet stuff like this, really well done. So I wonder if the character's going to get an overhaul. Because he just looks out of place. All this nicely drawn artwork. Yeah, he just looks out of place. Even this one though, this one's got no shading either.
I did need to do that again.
Okay, so that wasn't going to work. I was hoping like the dirty water in the fountain, you'd then go to clean it.
That wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. That didn't work. I glanced at the ledger on the podium. It was mostly empty, and the few entries there didn't seem of any interest.
What am I missing?
The sign read, "The Fantastic Fantaccio Brothers will be performing tonight. People of all ages welcome. Donations welcome even more so."
Probably something about the printing press as well. You can interact with it. She tells you not to touch it.
Nothing yet, but I'm keeping my eyes open. I did need to pour water on that. I did need to pour water on that. That wasn't going to work.
What am I missing? Oh yeah, I'll take a tea, please. Why? Okay. Okay, what might I need to pour water onto? And what on earth are there all the other things for as well? In worst case, we do have the hint thing. This is one to go back. These are the graves we can click on. This just says graves, graves, graves. There's nothing here. I just before I get the text, look at the text to tell me how to do something. And this takes me back. Yes. Handle. In the sack.
I doubted there was anything useful in the bayou. I wasn't going to risk having my arm bitten off by an alligator to confirm those doubts.
Didn't realize it was on. Okay, I wonder if there's anything in the riverboat. Ooh.
You've returned. Have you found all the ingredients and placed them in the gree-gree?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. I'm going to finish finding the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
Okay, so we can't even look at anything in there anyway. I did notice though, it mentioned it. There was one on the window. I haven't tried the window.
With a bit of elbow grease, I pushed up the wooden window frame.
Ooh.
Pressed against the inside wall was a dusty desk covered in spider webs, and on top it, one thing lay undisturbed, a small folded document which I picked up, along with an unintentional 8-legged companion. Ugh! Ghost stories and haunted treasures I could handle, but spiders gave me the creeps.
Okay. Ah. Okay. So now I have a plan. Use the scissors to cut the picture out of the newspaper, and I need to put the picture in here. How am I going to stick it in? So,
Carefully, I cut my photograph out of the newspaper. I stuck the cutout photograph onto the still tacky interior of the captain's license. It was convincing enough.
I'm not convinced. But hey, let's go see if it works. That will at least get me the chalk. Want to go all the way over here? Oh. I get the feeling that once we've done this spell, that'll be the end of the demo. I could be wrong, but...
I didn't have anything else to ask Felix.
You do. You want to ask him to go in.
My credentials.
You're telling me you are a captain?
I trust it's all in order.
Look, Sonny, the bylaws of this club only allow the club manager to verify a captain's license. And Mr. Perkins is enjoying his backgammon evening with Mrs. Perkins and the ladies this evening, with strict instructions not to be disturbed. So I'll be accepting this tonight, but try this again tomorrow night and it'll be another story. Now, with that said, a warm and hearty welcome to the Captain's Club. We sincerely hope you make use of and enjoy our facilities, and do please let me know if I can be of any assistance at all.
And there be our chalk. Okay, that turned the ceiling fans off.
It was locked. The cabinet was locked.
Everything's locked. They don't want me touching anything.
While I was trapped on Devil's Rock, a map of the world wasn't going to be much use to me. I considered playing a game, but billiards without the balls and cues wouldn't have been very engaging.
Why do you want to turn the ceiling fans off? What's that about? Doesn't look like there's anything else in there.
I didn't have anything else to ask Felix. I placed the chalk into the gree-gree.
Right. Okay. So now, how am I going to distract the coffin maker, burial guy, whatever title he wants to use? I get the feeling this isn't going to happen in the demo. This and the jewelry. I think there'll be something in the full game. It's not in the demo. Think about this crypt. Gotta get it open. Nothing else on there.
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. The graveyard was dotted with headstones, some old, some young, some legible, some not. The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it. The rough-looking coffin lay unceremoniously on the rickety table.
Oh, can we
I didn't
pour
need to
the...
pour water on that. That didn't work. I didn't need to show him that. I didn't need to pour water on that. I thought I'd keep that to myself.
There's definitely something here.
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for.
No. I was thinking, like, after a while it might attract his attention, but...
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for.
This is the path, this is the furniture.
From the gathering moss and rust, it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades. That didn't work.
There's nothing else here.
I scanned the house for a way in, perhaps an unlocked door or window, but my search was without luck. Belmore Manor stood proudly and enigmatically at the center of the estate. Who knew what had gone on inside its walls?
Use a pond to fill the bowl. I think I'm gonna have to look at the hint. I don't want to, but I'd like to solve it. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. You won't talk to him.
I disturbed Edgar enough. I did need to cut that. That didn't work. That wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work.
The twine was going to be of more use to me intact.
Oh,
I tied the twine to the uneven table and took up a hiding spot behind a nearby wall. It was time to wake the dead.
ha ha ha.
Hello? Hello? Why is it so dark in here?
Huh? Who's that?
I'm stuck! Help! Help!
If that's you kids...
Get me out of this thing!
Oh, no, not again. Mister, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I was told... Mister? Oh, God darn it. Next time I see those kids, I'm gonna have a lineup of Pee-wee coffins ready for them. See how they like being scared out of their wits.
Ah, there we go. There's the nails.
I wasn't going to search the dead body. I picked up the handful of discarded coffin nails from the tin.
And they need
I
to
placed
go.
the coffin nails into the gree-gree. I've done it. All 5 ingredients for the summoning spell. Now I needed to head back to the Spirit Queen.
Okay, let's go. I think we did it without going to any hints. We did use the hotspot to find spots that we'd not already found.
Murphy, have you done what was asked of you?
I have.
Wonderful. Now, it is time for the final step. Out of the darkness, the sadness, the fear, I command you, my servant, now to appear!
I have returned, Master. What is your desire?
The ingredients have been gathered. The final step of the spell is ready. The focus.
The focus of the spell is that which you are casting it upon. Belmore Manor is where the ghosts reside. An image of Belmore Manor is what you must direct the spell with.
Murphy, do you have an image of Belmore Manor we can use?
An image in here?
It was the magazine where I first read about the Belmore treasure.
Yes. Who wants it? The spirit?
Yes, Murphy. That will work. Place it inside the gree-gree as the final ingredient.
I folded the magazine cover and placed it inside the gree-gree.
The spell is ready. Finally, the ghosts will be free again. Open the gree-gree, Murphy, and that will cast the spell.
With some trepidation, I took the gree-gree from my pocket, and then, with a deep breath, opened it.
Ooh, now all the lights come on.
At last, I am free.
Servant, what's happening?
I was never your servant.
I am your master. You shall do my bidding. I command you.
Foolish mortal! You have served your purpose. No longer do I need to manifest as an ephemeral specter. Now my true spirit form is freed.
Loa, do as I say.
You have no more use to me.
I wasn't sure what I'd just seen, but the voodoo fire raging all around me was all too real. I needed to get out, and fast.
I pour the water on the fire. Abigail? Uh-oh. Gosh. We're gonna. We've been dragged in. We were a foolish mortal. Okay, so this was mainly done by David and Sophie Younger with the look of this. And then different people for the voices. And then it looks like the artwork was contracted out maybe for different people. Yes, a solo team. Like, it looks like they're partners, or brother and sister maybe. An indie dev behind it, but the stuff contracted out, it looks of it. I'm looking forward to the full game. See what else it has to offer. I don't know when. It says 2024. So hopefully in the next 7 months at some point. Yes, this is this one complete in an hour and 50 minutes. So you will be taking an early night tonight. Let these credits roll. Made in the United Kingdom as well. Okay. Yeah, there we have it. Should have had a little extras there actually. Yeah, it just says 2024. So hopefully we shall keep an eye on this one and we'll showcase it again when it is released. The least we can do. Did have an email saying about let's see, wish list. This is a YouTuber that does this one. This is another point and click. I have this. I have a demo of this one as well. It might be on my list. I'm not sure. May end up buying this. Can't find what I'm looking for though. Here it is, Shim. What was this one? Because I've had an email. Yes. Play the Shim playtest now. And release date 18th of July. So this one was also showcased at the... Not the last Insomnia, it was the one before that, I believe. So it's a game about jumping from shadow to shadow in a relaxing, lively environment. 3D platformer takes elements of light, show, and animation, adds them directly to the gameplay. Ooh, this is certainly different. Yeah, maybe we could... Oh yeah, this was... They got an award for this one as well. Or at least they were a nominee. They've had a few awards looking at this one. Wow. Does look like it has publishers behind it though, so that's not surprising. So yeah, next Friday we will find something else. Let me look at Discord. What another indie stream? Okay, so we had Foolish Mortals for 2 weeks, Bullet Bunny, and Mini Shoot Adventures. Okay, so I think next week we'll do the Settlings then. Because this one I've already got downloaded and everything. This reminds me of a cross between Terraria and Lemmings. I get Lemmings vibes from it. We'll do this one next week. Yeah, that's going to be it for today. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me put the link in chat again for Foolish Mortals. That's what we were playing today. If you did enjoy it, go give it a wish list. If you want to try the demo, obviously you know the solution to the demo now because you've seen me do it. But if you want to try the demo, download it and wish list if you enjoyed it. I shall be back. So next week is half term. So I will be here on Monday and Friday in the evenings. There is no game dev next week. A week after, we will be back to normal, which will be the first week in June. Oh my god, how are we in June already? This year is just flying by. How are we almost in June? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. But hey ho. So yes, Monday, Euro Truck Simulator 2. We have 5 more weeks of Euro Truck Simulator 2, and then I'm going to try and change what game we play on a Monday, with a view to getting more viewers involved in the gameplay. So if you have a game suggestion, let me know. But until next time, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you soon.